Alright guys, now I have got my new lens. Does it look pretty sick? I think it does. If you want to know what lens it is, I'll say it now. It is from a pretty nice company. Yeah, that's right. This is the Sigma 18-35 f1.8. So yeah, let's unbox it. Alright, let's unbox this lens. It's beautiful! Oh, it's just the aperture M9. So yeah, it's still on the camera. So yeah, let's go to the real unboxing. I really like this lens from Sigma because it has a really wide angle at 18mm, which I am at right now, but it also can zoom a little bit to 35, which is a cinema standard, I think. And this lens paired with the Canon 80D is the perfect setup, I think. Let me talk about the autofocus capabilities of this lens. It is pretty good. Not the best, it's a little noisy, but you know what? It has the best focus ring I've ever tried on a camera lens. Yes, I comes from lenses like this, cheap 75 to 300. Yeah, it's alright for the price, but yeah, it's not a good lens like the Sigma 18-35. This lens is from 18 to 35, not as much as the kit lens from Canon. This is 75 to 300, and this weighs over twice as much. So it's a pretty heavy lens, I must say, and this is not the lightest lens I have either. So yeah, I'll not consider it as a downside because a heavier camera is actually better when you're trying to get some stable shots. One thing that is very special with this lens is that it has a f1.8 aperture, which there is no other lens in this universe that have 18 to 35 f1.8. No zoom lenses besides something like the 50 to 100, but this is just nice. It's just gorgeous. It is a little big. I probably have to get a bit better tripod or something like that, but yeah. The filter thread size on the front of the lens is 72mm, which is pretty big, so you need some giant filters for this lens, but that isn't a bad thing. This light has a focusing distance at about 1 feet, which is a little weird because it is 18 to 35. You think you can get close with this lens, and actually you can. Just let me show. Look at how close you can get. This is fantastic. I really like this lens, so yeah, I'm probably gonna get out of here. And did I mention it was a Sigma Art Series lens, so it is very sharp, and I can see on my monitor right now that it is extremely sharp and no vignetting at all. And I've seen some tests on YouTube, and when you zoom a little in, it's gonna get a little softer, but I've never noticed. It looks seriously nice. It was actually sent to me by E-Infinity store. They didn't send it to me, I paid for it and bought it for my own money. Disclaimer, no ads. Alright guys, we have also made a test video with the Sigma 18-35. It is kind of a horror, it is probably a little weird, and we didn't have time to put in the zombie at the end, so yeah, let's watch the short film video sketch kind of thing. Alright, I am now in the woods here where we shot the invisible zombie, where now I'm just testing the Sigma 18-35. I think it is pretty good. The photo quality are also really good, so if you're taking a lot of photos, I will also suggest this lens. But I bought it for video actually, so that's what I'm gonna be used it for, so yeah. Mission failed! Alright, I'm editing this video right now. The mic actually died on the shoot, probably because it was cold, so yeah, I didn't really say that much. So yeah, now let's test the lens's sharpness, the Sigma 18-35's sharpness against the Canon kit lens from 2012, the Canon 18-55 f3.5 to f5.6. But you might ask why I'm testing a lens like this to such a poor lens, and that is because a lot of people own the 18-55 and think it is pretty good. And therefore I want to show you how much better this lens is. So yeah, let's get into the testing. Now I have both lenses set at f3.5 at 18mm. So as you can see, the Canon kit lens have a lot of barrel distortion, which the Sigma 18-35 don't have. The Sigma 18-35 has a little bit, but it's not that much, so that's pretty nice. And the kit lens has a lot of distortion in the edges, but also a little in the middle, and that is because it is so cheap. And the Sigma 18-35 does also have a little bit in the edges, but it isn't almost there. So yeah, Sigma 18-35 is a lot sharper at f3.5 both in the corners and in the middle. The kit lens is not as sharp as the Sigma 18-35. Now we are recording, finally! Yeah, boy! Hope you liked that comparison video between the 18-55 kit lens from Canon and the 18-35 from Sigma. Let's talk about who this lens is for. It is a high quality lens with an internal zoom and focusing. So it's not the cheapest lens in the world, but it is the best, at least for APS-C cameras like the Canon 80D. It comes with a Canon mount and a Nikon mount, so you choose what camera you want it for. If you're taking photos and want that full frame look, this lens is probably also for you. It is also good for some portraits, and you can also use it for landscapes. If you're a filmmaker and want to upgrade from the kit lens or the 50mm, which I made a review on, this lens is definitely for you. The focus ring and the zoom ring is really good on this lens because it is so smooth. And the focus ring actually turns so 180 degrees, so that's pretty cool. The only thing that will probably hold you back from buying this lens is the lack of image stabilization. So you'll probably not get the most smooth video in the world with this, but it can go down to 18mm, so therefore it is not that shaky anyway. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you like this video. If you want to see more like this, you're welcome to leave a like or subscribe to this channel. Or you can also go on Instagram and follow Legend Films Instagram for more epic content. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.